What the hell is blended and innovative finance? So innovative finance, let's dig into that topic. So like I've said, innovative finance is also sometimes used as the umbrella. Sometimes others use blended finance. So it can be a bit confusing, but here what we want to get at, and when I say innovative finance, it refers more to the side of mechanisms that attack this return side. So, definition, it would be the wrong word. I want to say rather an understanding is that the innovative finance that tackles the return side, it's a new way of delivering development finance and an effort to make financial flows more result-oriented. So result-oriented, new way, I think those are the key words. And you have many forms taking place. So you have payments by results, which is more like the overarching principle. You have results-based finance, results-based aid. You have impact bonds, SYNC, which is this wonderful new instrument that Roy's going to introduce further. And I'm sure there are going to be more innovations in this sector, which is why it's difficult to have a set definition, but I think you get the gist of it. So how it, as an example, I thought I might explain a little bit how an impact bond works, because this has been relatively widely used, and also, yeah, it's a trending subject. So in an impact bond, this is sort of the rough structure. What you have is an outcome funder. It can be a local government or a philanthropic organization that has an interest in a particular topic. What by the name outcome funder means is that they fund for an outcome. So if it's an organization that is involved in education, it says, okay, I will pay, or I'm willing to fund for the outcome of an educated child. And what happens is that there's a service provider who can solve this problem of educating children. And there can be multiple service providers to it, not just one. The problem is that if this organization gives the money directly to the service provider, then there are certain limits to it. So for instance, the outcome funder, sometimes, or in a lot of times, being the government, has restrictions. I don't, for instance, this is a new service provider, I don't know whether they can do this, or we can't really figure out which one of these service providers is the best one, and us as a government, we have to select one and then go with it and go all in. So there's a lot of risk involved in that. So what they do is they ask an investor, hey investor, how about you bear that risk? And you go in and select a service provider, or select, I don't know, in whatever way you want to deal with this, you deal with it. And what we do is we pay you per outcome. So the investor and the service provider's interest is tied to the outcome or impact target that the outcome funder has agreed. And so the investor takes the risk of finding the best solution. The outcome funder doesn't waste money in a lot of bureaucratic and experimental processes, but only pays strictly per outcome. And the service provider can achieve its mission. And this is a great mechanism that fosters a lot of co-working. It also creates this culture of measuring and evaluating impact. And it also aligns a lot of incentives to make sure that none of these people have a conflict of interest, or have weird incentives. So in that sense, it's a really good mechanism that is being experimented in many setups. But this is just one form of innovative finance. So yes, so Anna has just posted on the chat that the poll question, since it didn't work, I'll just read it out. what are some concerns you have about innovative finance? And first one, the design cost seems higher than the transaction. Or second, it doesn't seem scalable. Or third, it feels like subsidizing the private sector. Or four, no concerns, it sounds great. Five, other. So if you have any opinions or comments on that, just start posting. But for now, this is actually it about the mechanisms, the design cost, yes. This is pretty much it about blended and innovative finance, the definitions, terminology, and how it works, more or less.